to move forward into volunteerism. And Jeff, if you would share a little bit about your kind of volunteer history outside the fraternity and inside the fraternity.
Yeah. My wife and I, we're the original patrons for the Cal Poly Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship, which was started probably 14 years ago.
Mhm.
It's a series of programming. We talked about entrepreneurship is really innovation. And
Yep.
so there's multiple steps to this, including and not limited to an incubator for launching real student-built companies. It's been phenomenally successful.
Yeah.
And what's kind of cool is, and my alumni fraternity brothers, God bless them, I love these guys. I wonder if they want to lose my phone number every once in a while. I'm usually dragging them along with one of my efforts. And so I would say the first 3 years of that center were funded about 80% from Lambda Chi alumni.
Wow.
From Cal Poly.
Yeah.
And a number of us are still large patrons. And it's been phenomenal. The programming cuts across 6 of the colleges. It's gotten innovation and entrepreneurship into the curriculum of every major.
That's huge.
Right?
Yeah.
Teaching these students to be innovators doesn't mean you need to start a company.
Right. Right.
So
That's very cool.
I've enjoyed that. So probably twice a year, myself, some other my successful alumni brothers, we come and speak to the students.
Okay.
And I love that. It's just, to see that eagerness for them to want to learn. Oh, by the way, I'm not that guy that comes in. All you students out there, you've had alumni come speak to you, and they spend a half an hour doing the dig me talk. Right? Not me. I only talk about the things I really royally screwed up. It's the only time I ever learned.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
I think you learn more from mistakes than you do from successes,
100%.
really.
Well, you also learn who you are, right? As a person.
Right.
What happens when I fail? Do I fall apart? Do I play the blame game? Or do I own it?
Right.
And do I deal with what I failed at with integrity?
Yeah.
Because an entrepreneur, a lot of us fail at various times.
Yep.
But you get to play again if you do things based on character and integrity, honesty, don't lie to people, and the world's forgiving for your failure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
So the other organization, I'm on the board of fspac.org, which has got 64 board members. It's the who's who in leadership in the Greek system, both, past CEOs of sororities, fraternities, from their foundations. It's a great bipartisan organization that helps fund candidates, again, bipartisan, that support the Greek system. And that's been wonderful. 6 years I represent Lambda Chi on that board with 3 other Lambda Chis. And before I joined, there was no Lambda Chis on the board.
Yeah.
And then I realized through that part of something a lot bigger.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mhm.
the differences between these fraternal organizations, it's not much. And we're all trying to do the same thing, that co-curricular education,
Mhm.
Right.
leadership and philanthropy. And so that's been great.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, you know, my Lambda Chi work, Edu Foundation for 9 years,
Yep.
High Pi 3 chapters.
Right.
And I've been involved directly with 7 colonizations. Love
Yeah.
that.
Wow.
Yeah. I feel like that's the exciting part, and that, you know, that builds into the entrepreneurship that we've been talking
Mhm.
about, especially with that founding father experience. So
Yeah, and we talk about the regional.
yeah.
Mhm.
It's never been done. We
Right.
had to
Yeah.
change the constitution of Lambda Chi Alpha
Mm-hmm.
to create a chapter untethered
Right.
from any institution.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
frankly, if I pulled everyone 4 years ago that I knew, Lambda Chi's leadership people,
Uh-huh.
and said, what's the probability of this thing working? It would have been low single digit percent.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, you know, that's part of being an entrepreneur. You know,
Yes.
you just keep running, and you
Yep.
just keep running and running. My son, who's a Lambda Chi, by the way, and a CEO of a software company,
Mhm.
he calls it playing whack-a-mole.
That's good.
Right? Every day you got problems popping up. You
Yep.
got
Yep.
play whack-a-mole.
Right.
And that was doing the regional. No one had done it. There was
No.
no template.
Yeah.
We had to create it. And we had bumps along the way, but it's been wildly successful, which
Absolutely.
gives us another opportunity we didn't have before to bring the gift of Lambda Chi to other
Mhm.
regions where
Right.
host institutions don't want us there.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Exactly.
Pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, Jeff, do you have any stories of during your volunteer time where you saw your service maybe opening up unexpected doors or an outcome that maybe you didn't foresee whenever you're volunteering?
Well, I'm going to answer a little untraditionally.
Sure.
Okay.
So I've stayed involved philanthropically with Lambda Chi.
Mhm.
I could not count how many times I've been in a business setting where I'm speaking to a C-level executive.
Mm-hmm.
They're really smart, but they're nice guys, you know? And
Yeah.
then to later find out they were Lambda Chi's.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
You know, decades ago, I had one of my software companies was doing a tech licensing deal with a massive software company called Citrix.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
And at the time, the VP or chief marketing officer was a guy named Mark Templeton.
Mm-hmm.
And so I met him at that time. We did a licensing deal. He ended up taking over as CEO and chairman of Citrix, drove it to be a massive mega $1 billion company.
Yeah.
And I was visiting Mark in Fort Lauderdale, where they were headquartered. And we're out just
Mhm.
two guys having steak dinner and a glass of wine. And I was talking to him and I go, hey, Mark, by the way, where'd you go to school?
Yeah.
He said, Chapel Hill, North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
I go, you happen to be in a fraternity? And he goes, yeah, it was a Lambda Chi. And I'm like, of course you're a Lambda Chi.
Makes sense.
You know, you've got the humility gene.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so he ended up reconnecting. I was on the Edu Foundation board at the time, reconnecting, received Order of Merit award and all that stuff. Just a great guy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I've had that happen a dozen times in my professional career where I just like this person. They're smart, but they're nice. And find out they're Lambda Chi's.
There you go. Yep.
So does that help? Yeah.
I would say so, yeah.
The chances are we're going to view business in similar ways based on core values.
Right.
Absolutely.
So it kind of cuts through. It's not 100% accurate.
Right.
But it's a great qualifier that I can do business with this person.
Absolutely.
Yeah. There's a lot in common, even though you didn't know maybe previously in your conversations, but you have a lot in common with a brother that is from Chapel Hill, but you're from a Californian chapter. And there's all the same kind of like undertones, core values, things like that. You know you'll get along with them.
Right.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. I got another one. This resulted in business for one of my companies.
Yeah.
We did stuff with the NSA, intelligence agency, and I'm at Fort Meade at their headquarters, there to meet their chief technology officer.
Wow. Okay.
And I'm in the bowels of Fort Meade. It's the most classified facility ever. And I get to this guy's office. Now, I'm trying to get him to license our software for all their analysts, tens of thousands of them.
Wow. Okay.
And I was also interested in talking to him about encryption technology.
Sure.
Who are the experts on encryption, right?
Yeah.
So I'm sitting across the desk from this guy, and I noticed his class ring from the side. And I said, "Oh, you went to MIT?"
Yeah.
And he goes, "Yeah." And then he showed me the rest of his ring, and right on the onyx stone was Lambda Chi Alpha.
There you go. You're like, wow.
So did we get that licensing deal? Yes, we did. But it's even better than that. In the first time in the history of the NSA, they licensed to me encryption technology and put out a press release on it.
Wow.
Never happened in the NSA.
Yeah. Wow, that's incredible. Well, and I think it goes to the point too that I feel like we've, hammered so many times is you never know where that Lambda Chi connection is going to take you or who you're going to meet that is also a fellow brother. And you have that, like Mackenzie said, those underlying tones and connections. So it's such a powerful thing.
It really is. And I know it was this way when I was in school. You're kind of parochial about your own chapter.
Sure.
And I encourage the students, go to the summer leadership seminars, General Assembly, to realize you're part of something a lot bigger.
Yes.
And this helps with career.
Yes.
Right. I tell the students, you can reach out. You have the affinity of whatever school you went to, and you got Lambda Chi Alpha.
Yes.
If there's a company you're interested in, search on LinkedIn for Lambda Chi Alpha and that company.
Right.
it's about 70, 80% hit rate. If you
Yeah.
reach out to that brother and say, hey, can you spare 10 minutes? Tell me about your company.
Right.
Yeah.
They're going to respond.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. It's huge. So Jeff, I feel like this has been a great conversation. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. So kind of as we, wrap up with final thoughts, I would love to know if you had any, final advice or parting words of wisdom as to, how we can get into that entrepreneurial spirit, or even volunteerism, and what advice you might have for our younger brothers, maybe entering the workforce or looking to enter the workforce.
So I think the advice I'm going to give is transcends decades.
Yes.
Be that person that does what he says he's going to do.
Yeah.
If you're on time to a meeting, you're late. Don't ever be late to a meeting. It's a sign of disrespect.
Right.
I mentioned earlier, when you start a new role, even as an intern, you set your brand in the first 2 months, and it sticks to you.
Yep.
If you showed up late to a meeting, that's a stain.
Yep.
So out of respect, if you got an important meeting with your boss, a team meeting, get there early.
Right.
Read your email, surf the web. Don't be late. And look for things that need to be fixed. Don't wait to be asked to fix something broken.
Right.
And just be that go-to person. It's so simple.
Yeah.
Really, 90% of success is showing up on time, and actually doing your work.
Yeah.
And the other thing I would say is jobs suck. Careers are fun.
Yes.
Okay. So, you need to view your role as an intern or your first job out of school. You're young, run hard, work hard, right? And accomplish a lot of stuff.
Right.
Don't pick off too much and do everything absolutely average.
Right.
Pick 1, 2, or 3 impactful things and do it really well.
Yes.
That's my advice. Whether you end up starting your own business or just being an innovator for other companies, it's the same stuff.
Right.
It's just, do you have the appetite and the risk appetite to start some from scratch? And you don't have to.
Yeah.
Same stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. I wish I had that advice when I started my career. That's great. That's great.
Set the brand everywhere out there.
Exactly.
Set your brand.
I love that.
Right?
Yep. Exactly. Well, Jeff, thank you so much for joining us today. This has been, like I said, a great conversation. I think, and hopefully think it will be impactful, for our younger members and those that are just graduating, looking to kind of make the mark. So thank you again. And we're very appreciative of you and everything that you've done for Lambda Chi and giving us your wisdom today.
Well,
absolutely.
I always reserve the right to be wrong and stupid. So hopefully there were some helpful hints there from my younger brothers and your brothers. I'm not your dad.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right. Well, perfect.
Exactly.
Well, thank you again, Jeff, and we look forward to releasing this episode and hearing back all the good things.
Good.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Such a great conversation with Jeff.
Yes.
A lot of bits and pieces to pull from his experience and knowledge. I love everything that he talked about from his time as a founding father.
Yeah.
That it's literally hasn't changed. The
Right.
idea of like building something on your own, innovation, it's exactly what the founding father experience is right now.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and I think also him talking about, you know, the hardest job that he ever had was leading his collegiate chapter. And I think that that's true, you know, because you're asking these guys to do a lot and just basing it off of, you know, their want to be there and their involvement. And I think what he said is exactly right. And what we always say is, you know, you're the CEO of a small business with a chapter. And so, you know, those are skills, whether you're an officer or general member, those are skills that you can take with you that, you know, last you a lifetime. So truly making that experience what you want and what you want to see out of it, I think is so important. If you're listening to this episode, if you've seen a previous episode and there's a topic you want us to cover, or, you know, someone that you think would be great for, you know, the entire membership to learn from, please let us know. We would love to have those ideas. Just email us at marketing@lambdachi.org. And we will, you know, get that into the agenda for Lunch and Learn.
Absolutely. Stay tuned for the next episode.